Hey, Shalom, call Allah, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Chakodash, the ones apostles, bishops, and elders of great millstone, Shalom, two brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully and continually fighting that good fight of faith, Lord willing, we are found in that number to be delivered. And likewise, for you sisters who truly trust and believe in the Lord, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, may you be defended and protected as well. All right, so what you're looking at on the screen here, and forgive me, a little under the weather right now, but what you're looking at on the screen here is from the UK riots. Now, the UK riots started back at the beginning of the month, and the driving force behind these riots, where this little Muslim 17-year-old went into a dance recital, Edomite dance recital, and killed, and unalived 3 little girls, right? That was the story. And this is what drove these people out in droves, if you will, right? And I'm going to say, I think it's safe to say right now, but in this group, in this crowd we're looking at, ain't no brown-skinned people out there, all right? So this protest or mass mob, if you will, went from, protesting against the immigrants, which would be the Muslims, if you will, to now any brown person, period. All right. And the shit that's going on over there, it has subsided a little bit, but the problem you have now is you got these little splinter cell groups out there who are running up on, anybody with brown skin, running up on them. All right. So that thing is coming to America too. Don't think that you safe over here because you across the sea. That thing's coming over here too, man. All right, so let's get into a couple videos and we'll go from there. Now, what you're seeing here is this is further down in the protests, if you will, or in the riots, if you will. And these Muslims, like, listen, they had enough. They ready to fight back, man. All right? They ready to fight back. That's exactly what they're going to do. Right now, tempers aren't that hot, as I said. But everybody's on the lookout. Everybody's head is on the swivel right now. All right? So they're coming, man. In a couple of videos, they were screaming, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. And these men, as the scripture says, this is Genesis 16:12. It says, and he will be a wild man, and his hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. All right. And we're going to see that coming into pass. We're going to see this coming into play because ever since, 9/11, there was a big push to, what word am I looking for? There was a big push to single out the Muslim, the Muslim community, if you will. So much so, you got just average everyday Muslims who were walking about, being jolly Americans, getting singled and getting profiled. All right, but the whole shit is about to erupt, man. In every country, and every man is gonna be at war, a civil war within this country, within the other countries. There's gonna be war, man. There's gonna be a lot of dead bodies lying around. People think that, oh, Esau, the guns. Listen, Esau's gonna be the catalyst, all right? But there's gonna be some heavy shit going on, and this is why, man. Sometimes we laugh at, like, some of the calamities that happen to people, But sometimes I look at shit, I pray, man. I pray that the Lord keep me safe from harm. All right? Pray that the Lord watch over me, that these things that are going on and shit that is happening to people don't come our way. You know? So pray without ceasing, man, because the times are getting eviler and evil. All right? So let's go back to a couple of those clips. All right, we got another clip here. This is in the streets of Oxford. Okay? And this is Jake right here. You see? And the point being here, Jake gonna get tired of running, man. Jake gonna get tired of running. We've been running from Esau since we came over here, man. But they gonna get tired of running. Now, I'm not talking about the hope for the elect. We ain't gonna get involved with all this all this rioting shit. We ain't gonna be out there and on the front lines talking about no justice, no peace. Alright? But these Jakes, they gonna get fed up, man. They gonna get fed up. Alright? This is Genesis 49:9. It says, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He crouches as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? All right. So Jake, right now, man, they're in that transition phase where they're getting tired of Esau. They're getting tired of the shit that's being done to them, you know. But they haven't mustered up that full courage to really step out and cross that line. But that time is coming. Right? That time is coming where they're going to cross that line. And they're going to sit there and tell you, we ain't running from your asses no more. We ain't taking no more shorts. It's all Jake right there. Right? That's all Jake right there. Now here's another clip where they screaming Allah Akbar. You know, it's getting tired, man. As the scripture says, his hand will be against every man and every man against him. They getting tired. They ready to fight. Alright? So they coming to fight. Alright, but let me get a couple clips. I'm pausing it so I can get to the clips without giving you the commercials and shit. Give me 1 second.
Not fucking theirs. This is our fucking country. Not fucking theirs. And we used to save the kids. The children have been murdered. There's been a massacre on the street.
They've got the tiger and little white girls all over the country. Let's call a spade a fucking spade.
It's like Russian roulette at this point. Which one's going to be next?
No one questioned why BLM were out. No one questions why Palestine are out. We're saving the kids. We're stopping the boats. We're closing the borders. Look how mad we've all...
See these people? They ain't fucking around. Alright? So be ready. You niggas better be ready out there. It's about to get heavy. Alright? Let me see what else we can come up with. Now this was the still photo I showed you earlier. Coming out in droves. It reminds you of the book Without Sanctuary. Whenever they hang one nigga in the street, these are the kind of crowds that will gather around just for hanging one nigga out in the street. All right? These people are furious because they believe that one of the 3 of their children was murdered by an immigrant. But again, there's always some type of false flag or some type of scenario that takes place. All right? And if you know the MO of America, that's exactly what they do. They'll put some scenario in place where they can bring the people out. And it's going to happen here in America. There's going to be something put in place where the people are going to come out, man. And there's going to be no stopping it. Whatever plan they got up their sleeve, something's going to pop off. Because these nations are going to have a war. And it's going to be a racial war. Here we're seeing it in UK right now. All right? All right. See what else we got. All right, let me go here. This is 2nd Ezra 15. I'm going to start at 14. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. All right. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. There's going to be hell on all angles, man, from every side. And this is why Ezra is saying these things. All right. These race wars that are coming up, it's going to be, you better pick a side and you better get on that side. Now, we of the hope for the elect, we of the hope for the elect, we choose Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Lord willing, he fights our battles for us and protects us in these upcoming trial times, man. Try some times. Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. What do you think this is talking about? These race wars, amongst other things. But these race wars is what's going to be the catalyst. You hear that white man? He said, this is our country. It's not theirs. See, the Lord gave Esau the world, man. As it is written, the earth was given unto the hand of the wicked. And this is why he can claim all parts of the land out here throughout this world. So essentially, is he right? Yeah, essentially. You know, the Lord gave it to him. But what's about to ensue is going to be a lot of death and destruction. Okay? Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Even though you don't see these type of activities here in America right now, it's going to go down. And it may not even start with race riots. It may start with just being short of food, man. It may start with being short of just the bare necessities. Right? The government is always going to try to tell you, relax, calm down. Continuing on. It says, they shall not regard their kings nor princes. In the course of their actions shall stand in their power. All right? And that's exactly what's going to take place. The course of their actions is going to stand in their power. And if those actions call for, unaliving somebody so you can eat, or unaliving somebody so you can survive, there's going to come a point in time where you ain't going to hear the sound of gunshots, because a lot of that ammunition is going to be used up and expended. So it's going to be up close and personal, man. Up close and personal. Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Because there's going to be many fronts and many reasons why a man's not going to be able to go into a city. Likewise, as we're looking at the UK riots, Jake right now, even though they're not rioting out there, they're not in droves like they were, Jake is afraid to go into these cities, man, for fear of their life. All right, I'm saying not Jake's, but just any brown people, period. They're afraid to enter into these cities because they know that their life hangs in the balance. And those who have kids who may need to get from A to B, it's going to be a heavy gamble, man, because they're going to have no mercy. They are not going to have any mercy upon you brown people, man. Whether you're a Muslim, whether you're a Jake, whether you're a Hamite, all right, whether you're Chinese, a dark-skinned Chinese person, they're not going to have any mercy or any pity on anybody out there. Whether it be in the UK, whether it be over here in America, especially here in America, man. These Edomites over here, they're salivating at the opportunity to get their hands on you. 18. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. When a man walks around in a place when it's sown and everything's in order, he's not afraid of shit. He walk around with his chest popped out, looking for trouble, looking for some shit to start. All right? But when you see shit like these riot masses, and now you know there's an unbalance between the masses that are rioting and those who are being rioted against, Jake gonna think twice about wandering off into them streets, man. You're gonna think twice about wandering off. Because why? Because your life is going to hang in the balance. And not because you a pussy, not because you afraid to, fight somebody, but you must know the means of what these people can do to you. Now, I'm not talking about the men of the Lord, the hopeful elect. I'm talking any and everybody outside of this thing of ours. 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor. Right, and when you hear about men having no pity, meaning what? He'll rip you from limb, man. He ain't gonna worry about your cries or your screams, whether you got kids or not. You're gonna be pleading, please, I got a newborn, please. They ain't gonna have no pity on you for that shit, man. And you're gonna tell him, a newborn, let's find out where he lives. Because he has a seed out there that needs to be, eradicated, if you will. Continuing on, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. Okay? So these are the things that are coming, man. People may think that they're safe and secure because the police departments. Now, in these videos, let me see if I can find one. Give me 1 second. All right, I found it. For you people who think you're going to be able to call 911 and get some assistance when all hell breaking loose, even the police are fleeing for help. Check it out. Now they ain't running to the trouble. They're running from it. Why? Because they've come to the conclusion that their life isn't worth fighting a mob. All right? So it's gonna be a lawless society on every angle. Nobody's gonna be safe, man. Nobody. Until you understand that and believe what the prophets of the Lord have been telling you from the head apostles on down, and all the men who are faithfully in this thing, you best take heed and know that it's real. All right? So with that, I'm gonna end it right there. It was a little chopped up, but brothers, you get the point. Sisters, you get the point. All right? This shit is coming over here real soon. I say shalom.